So in this video, we will deal with the transfer of copyright. So basically the protection for copyright is given for life of a person plus 60 years after the death of the author. So the primary objective of any sort of intellectual property is to monetize such property. So monetization of property may happen through different ways, and one of such way is to transfer the copyright. So in this video, we will be dealing with primarily we'll be dealing with assignment and licensing. As I said earlier, monetization of copyright may happen through different ways. So I have mentioned some of the ways in which intellectual property rights can be used, especially copyrights in commercializing. Could be the way of direct sales, royalties, merchandising, content syndication, and transfer of copyright. We will be dealing with this. So the assignment is something when the owner of the copyright work will transfer his ownership fully to the another person, and he does not retain any right regarding such intellectual property. So we will be dealing with the essentials of the assignment as well. Like in assignment, the duration of the assignment will always be agreed in the agreement. So the first essential would be there will always be a duration till which the assignment has been made, to which the another person other than the author will be vested with that right to exploit that intellectual property. So the duration of assignment will always be mentioned and will be agreed upon in the agreement. So that is first essential. And the second essential is the assignment of copyright happens always happens in exchange of a consideration. So consideration is the second essential here. And the third one is assignment could either happen through fully or partially, right? So the way in which we can find difference is that in fully and partially is whenever a copyright assignment happens for a particular duration and not for a perpetual period, then it will be called as a partial transfer. It is not for a perpetual duration. There is always a time limit till which you can use the copyrighted work. So yeah, that is a vivid difference that we can find in fully and partial transfer in with regard to assignment. In case of partial transfership, the ownership is transferred for certain number of years, right? As we discussed. So now comes the licensing part. So licensing uh, is different from assignment. Whereas in licensing, you're not transferring the entire ownership; you're just giving the permission to use a specific rights only for that particular purpose. So the basic thing that we have to know in differentiating licensing and assignment is the ownership. In licensing, the ownership is not transferred, and in assignment, the ownership is transferred. So that is a core difference that we can find. Similar to assignment, here also duration of licensing will be agreed through a licensing agreement. And in such licensing agreements, the territory within which the copyrighted work will be used will also be mentioned. Also in licensing, royalty will be paid to the original owner of the copyright in case if any profit that has been made through such licensing. And then we will deal with types of copyright licensing. There are many types of licensing, such as voluntary licensing and compulsory licensing and statutory licensing. So voluntary licensing is, as the name suggests, in exchange of some consideration, the license is given to a person to make use of the copyright. And the compulsory licensing is it usually takes place when the work is not available in the public and the author is unknown. And the statutory licensing, if the government mandates that a particular work is of a national importance, then it shall be given a statutory license. A good example would be a national anthem, right? So whenever a national anthem gets played inside the cinema hall, there is no infringement that is taking place because it has been statutorily licensed, right? Because anyone can use it. Now comes the key takeaways that we can derive out of these uh, assignment and licensing is that ownership is the key. If the ownership itself is transferred, then it becomes assignment, and the ownership is not transferred, and the right to use the copyrighted work is only given for a specific purpose, then it is definitely a licensing. Okay, and it is usually done in a licensing agreement. And the terms, duration, within which territory it will be used, and specific rights are very important in determining the uh, transfer that is taking place. And monetization venues, both licensing and assignment are crucial tools in commercializing copyrighted works. And in fact, the main primary objective of any intellectual property rights is that prevent infringement and to monetize the uh, intellectual property.